can't I beat this level?
Well, for one, it's Snake Rattle and Roll. And another, you're playing an NES emulator with a SNES controller. And, not a USB one.
I'm just getting tired of this game.
Then watch your television shows.
I can't. I'm out of episodes. And the new ones don't air until the fall.
Fine, just take your mind off that game. Do a random top 10 of one of your favorite shows, like Married with Children or Columbo. Just don't do...
This is my top 20 episodes of My Little Pony.
That... Wait, 20?
Yes, the show has just too many episodes that I want to comment on, so we are counting down the top 20 episodes. Plus, it totally hides the fact that I'm stalling. Let's also mention right now that this episode will contain spoilers. Sorry about that. And at this present time, there are only 2 seasons out there, so let's begin! Number 20, Over a Barrel. This episode probably would have slipped my radar, since I only like it for the beginning scene.
Maggie Pie, you asleep yet? No, are you asleep yet? If I was sleeping, how could I have asked you if you were asleep? Oh yeah! When we get to Appaloosa, you think we'll have to carry that heavy tree all the way from the train to the orchard? What tree? You mean Bloomberg? No, Fluttershy. Fluttershy's not a tree, silly.
What's going on?
Rainbow Dash thinks Fluttershy's a tree. I do not think she's a tree.
Did you say she was a tree?
No. Well, yes, but not exactly.
You know, she's not a tree, right?
Well, she's not a tree, Dashy. I'd like to be a tree.
Oh, for Pete's sake! Well, that was kind of huffy.
Huffy the Magic Dragon. Would you all be quiet now?
The rest of the episode deals with land disputes over who should get to use the land the orchard is built on, the ponies or the buffaloes. It kind of resembles the whole Native American versus settlers issue. What I actually saved this episode was the title. It reminds me a bit too much of an audience participation joke from Rocky Horror, which I kind of feel awkward mentioning. So, sorry about bringing that up, and moving on. Number 19, Sweet and Elite. Sweet and Elite deals with Rarity blowing off her friends to party in Canterlot. The whole episode revolves around her really wanting to hang with the classy upper, class of the sophisticated city, but also having to deal with her country upbringings that she has herself. And even though she's a great success in Canterlot, she does decide to return to Ponyville after her friends ruin everything. And I mean everything. I actually had the same choice to make in my life. I clearly chose wrong. Number 18, Mystery on the Friendship Express. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't the first time My Little Pony tried to add some mystery to their show, but it is the time they did it the best, and it is very sad for me to admit that My Little Pony actually has fairer mysteries than Monk, and actually a saner detective. With Pinkie Pie and Twilight Sparkle on the case, this one should be wrapped up pretty quickly, or maybe we should just look in the back of the book for the solutions. Number 17, Lesson 0. Speaking of Twilight Sparkle, this is a good time to mention that she is voiced by Tara Strong, which, for those of you who do not use Internet Movie Database every day like I do, is the same voice actress that did this.
Cool.
So she should be very used to magic at this point. She also voiced Bubbles from Powerpuff Girls, which is another show Lauren Faust worked on, but I'm getting off topic. Lesson 0 is all about Twilight Sparkle losing her mind. Having not written to the princess in about, a week, she panics and decides to go off the deep end, with some of the creepiest imagery, ending with her causing a town-wide brawl that the princess has to stop. Needless to say, things go bad. In the end, the fix was that now all the ponies are told to write to the princess on the importance of friendship. And that can't be easy. I mean, Twilight and Rarity are unicorns, so they can easily write with magic, they levitate things. But the other 4 have to use their mouths to write. Imagine that!
Dear Princess Celestia, sometimes your friends try to blow you up with lasers from space, but there is always some good in everyone's hearts. Well, when they have a heart.
God damn it! This is actually neater than my normal handwriting. Number 16, the Cutie Mark Chronicles. Okay, I can't get around this. I don't really care much for the Cutie Mark Crusader arcs. It seems to be a simple solution for them to just go out about their everyday lives, and eventually they will figure out what they're good at. But they can't just do that! I actually read on TV Tropes, so take this with a grain of salt, that the whole Cutie Mark Crusaders were supposed to be more of a pilot for their own show. Which I kinda hope happens. What? It won't clutter up the original show anymore, plus I have another show to watch. But this episode is pretty good as well, mostly because it doesn't focus on them. It focuses on the main 6 and the backstories on how they got their cutie marks. I think the most interesting thing about this episode is that we see Fluttershy was almost killed during a race, for her honor, that she wasn't in. But we also see parents and siblings for some of them that we don't need to create out of thin air. I'll get to that later. Also, here you go, Pinkie Pie's full name.
Pinkamena Diane Pie, is that you?
It's also the first time we see Rainbow Dash's signature move, which is actually a nice lead-in too. Number 15, the Sonic Rain Boom. Rainbow Dash is entering a competition to be the best junior flyer, and she has 2 problems. The first is that her cheering squad consists of Fluttershy, because regular ponies can't walk on clouds, so the other 4 can't go to the tournament in Cloudsdale. Her second problem is that she can't perform her Sonic Rain Boom, again, her signature move. And things don't get better from here when Rarity becomes the center of attention of the entire town due to her lovely, transparent butterfly wings that Twilight Sparkle casted on her. And then she decides to join the tournament as well. You'd think they wouldn't allow that. At the tournament, Rainbow Dash is stalling. Not that I would know anything about that. And Rarity is taking forever to get ready, causing them to perform at the same time. Now, earlier, Twilight warns Rarity that her wings are fragile, but nothing like don't fly too close to the sun or you'll reenact the Icarus myth. The Icarus myth. Causing, well, you should know. Anyway, the thing that I kind of find is weird is why does no one find any of this unusual? Like any part of Rarity. That's not a normal occasion. Same with the other 3. Like, we do get an explanation given to Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy. But that's it. No one else in the whole Cloudsdale asks any questions. Even the princess at the end doesn't seem anything wrong with this. Oh, and speaking of the end, at least they didn't think to put Rarity back on a cloud afterwards. That could have caused so many more problems. And actually, speaking of Rarity causing problems with other ponies, Number 14, Look Before You Sleep. Okay, let's be fair. We all can't get along with all our friends 100% of the time. But between Rarity and Applejack, I'm pretty sure they fought with everyone in Equestria. And we'll get to more fights later. But right now, we are just going to focus on them fighting each other, since Rarity thinks Applejack is just a slob, and doesn't care about appearance. And Applejack thinks that Rarity is a snob who only cares about looks. With a storm coming, Rarity and Applejack can't get back to their homes, so they take shelter with... Actually, Twilight Sparkle causes more tension between the already bickering two, by saying that this is their first sleepover, and insisting on doing everything by the book. No, literally, there's a book on this thing. It doesn't help that Twilight seems to be oblivious to their feud, despite it being quite obvious. The fighting continues during all the activities like makeovers, ghost stories, s'mores, and truth or dare. but I think it caps off with the pillow fight. That, I believe, is turned into a contact sport. After they go to sleep, they still fight. Possibly because I think Twilight is having them sleep in Spike's bed. And then they wake up, and the storm passes, and everyone goes on their separate ways. Oh, but in between, a tree gets hit by lightning and crashes into the library, freaking Twilight out. Oh, and what I like about this is that it's a pure dumb moment on Applejack's part. Not because she pulled the branch into the library, though that's not smart either, but her blaming it on Rarity.
You see? That's why we needed to take down all those loose branches in town. Not spiffy them up. But out of my way, Missy. Time's a waste. Wait, stop! No waiting! No stopping! Going! And that, my friends, is what we call getting her done.
Yeah, because the trunk of the tree in the library was the fault of not taking down broken branches. Just saying. They work together to solve the problem, because Twilight starts searching her slumber party book for the answer. Too bad she didn't have a copy of How to Be a Lumberjack. Number 13, Read It and Weep. So, this is the poker episode, right? No, that ain't right. This episode starts with Rainbow Dash getting hurt. And my guess is badly, since we don't see the crash on screen. She gets sent to the hospital where she's treated by Dr. House.
Fight the power! Fight the power! Fight the power! We got to fight the power that beats! Algorithms designed to bounce with House, what are you doing? What does it look like I'm doing? Fighting the power!
I'm sorry, that says Dr. Horse. Oh, the same clip was going to be played though, so... Moving on. Bedridden with the broken wing, Twilight Sparkle gets her a book from the book cart, The Adventure of Daring Do and the Quests of the, MacGuffin.
What's this? Daring Do and the Quest for the Sapphire Stone. This is the first story in the series. I own all of them.
And it parallels Rainbow Dash's life really well, down to the broken wing, and she quickly becomes engrossed in the book, even having to get rid of her friends twice.
Hey, guys.
We thought we'd come and cheer you up. We brought your favorite board game. We know how much you like to win. You go first, Rainbow Dash.
No, you first.
All right. Cloud 3.
Aw, shucks, you rained on my cumulus. Go again.
Sky 5.
Whoa! You found my seagull.
Cloud 2.
You zapped my weather pony. You stung my bumblebee. Oh, my thunderbolt. Oh, and that's my last cloud. You found it. Guess you guys win. I lose.
But Rainbow Dash, you didn't even get a turn.
You win some, you lose some.
But you don't lose some. I don't think you've ever lost a game of...
Thanks for coming.
But yesterday you were desperate for things to do.
Do? Who said anything about daring do? I told you I'm not interested in reading. Nap time for me.
Phew. Glad we could cheer you up? Phew. All right, then.
It is sad when My Little Pony does a better battleship than the actual Battleship movie. Anyway, eventually the hospital decides to get rid of her because, well, she's better now. But she leaves the book behind and can't go to Twilight to get the copy because, well, she mocked her. Only one option left. To sneak into the hospital and to steal the book. And that goes about as well as you would imagine. Actually, pretty well until she gets busted and the chase ensues. Ending with the revelation that maybe reading isn't just for the super smart. Maybe reading can be fun. To be fair, if my choices are between reading or playing Rattle and Roll, I might just choose a good book. Number 12, putting your hoof down. Here is an alternate theory I have about the show, and I think most bronies have at least one. Like, I've heard the one about Pinkie Pie being an axe murderer. And I'm starting to see that. Mine is that I think Fluttershy is also evil. And this episode really helps. So after being pushed around by, well, everyone, Fluttershy decides to attend a self-improvement seminar to become more assertive. Of course, the seminar is run by a Minotaur named Iron Will that boasts assertiveness as aggressiveness, and she really takes it to heart.
Let's just say, after having to watch Sailor Moon and My Little Pony, horror movies don't frighten me that much anymore.
So yeah, Fluttershy goes totally nuts and downright starts terrorizing everyone in town, until she realizes what a monster she's become when she insults Rarity and Pinkie Pie. However...
No, you want wimp Fluttershy. You want pushover Fluttershy. You want do anything to her and she won't complain Fluttershy. Too many Fluttershys to keep track of. Make it stop. Things getting too complicated for your simple little brain, Pinkie Pie.
Now, stop right there! Let's not let things descend into petty insults.
Why not? I thought petty was what you're all about, Rarity, with your petty concerns about fashion. Hey, leave her alone! Fashion is her passion! Oh, and what are you passionate about? Birthday cake? Party hats? I can't believe that the two most frivolous ponies in Ponyville are trying to tell new Fluttershy how to live her life when they are throwing their own lives away on pointless pursuits that no pony else gives a flying feather about! Looks like nasty Fluttershy is here to stay!
I cannot believe what that monster Iron Will has done to you!
That insult is quite accurate when you think about it. I mean, in this world, the default is to not wear clothes. Something they mentioned earlier. And partying, I can't imagine, is too high on the priority list. Then again, they also show that many ponies have made a career out of fashion, and with the amount of parties that get thrown, actually, come to think about it, the animals were okay before you showed up, Fluttershy. Just saying. Actually, when she realizes the monster she's become, she decides to shut herself away from the world, until Iron Will decides to come and collect. When she proves that she has learned to become more aggressive, and yet she still doesn't pay, saying that there's a money-back guarantee that he has mentioned. I kind of feel bad for Iron Will on this one. Number 11, suited for success.
Great, I just called Rarity's fashion business useless, and now I put this one on right after. Brilliant.
A lot of the episodes in Season 1 were leading up to the Grand Galloping Gala. This is the one where Rarity starts working on her dress, while Twilight Sparkle asks her for a favor for her dress, which looks plain, which prompts Rarity to offer to make Twilight a new one. Then she somehow gets caught up in making one for all 5 of them. And after slaving away at them, montaging through the work, which is actually quite a catchy number, her friends realize they don't like it. And after she has to drag out a brutally honest review from Fluttershy, she decides to get their input on this, while apparently ignoring all of Rarity's input.
And, as someone who also spends a lot of time mastering something and also being ignored, I can sympathize. I cannot tell you how many people have said that Snake Rattle and Roll has to be an easy game because Rare wasn't evil. Because, you know, they made the Donkey Kong Country series. Ugh.
And surprise, it seems like Rarity's friends don't really understand fashion too well. They get the dresses they want, but you can tell Rarity is displeased, like Frankenstein when he sees his monster for the first time. So let's up the ante. Spike manages to fortunately run into the high-powered fashion critic, and they decide to hold a fashion show for their new outfits.
What? That's what I do for every new outfit. Of course, my wardrobe is all black, because I don't remember what colors clash or blend.
And the fashion show goes horribly wrong, and Rarity falls into a deep depression.
She'll become a crazy cat lady!
She only has one cat.
Give her time.
I love that line. It reminds me of one of my sisters, who is back in Hyrule, so she'll never see this. Kinda sad, actually.
They decide to finish Rarity's dress and get the high-powered fancy pants. Wait, that actually is his name. I kind of love that about the show. To look at the original dresses Rarity made, and they all live happily ever after. Also, get used to seeing these dresses appear everywhere within the next season.